They did it on purpose.
The Bride 2025 trailer starts by diving into a reimagining of one of horror's most classic stories, introducing us to a Frankenstein unlike any you've seen before. Set in the haunting 1930s Chicago backdrop, the film brings together loneliness, yearning, and rebellion, all spinning out from a single wild experiment. I'm about to break down this trailer for you step by step, so watch the full video. There's a twist in the tone and style of this film that truly surprised me, and it's worth sticking around for. And before we jump into the video, just a reminder, this is Film and Fact, your only honest film opinion channel, so subscribe and let's get ready to enter the movie world together. Let me share my very first experience of watching The Bride's trailer. Honestly, it kicked off with a chill. We open with Christian Bale's Frankenstein, a figure cloaked in loneliness pacing the fog-soaked alleys of old Chicago. Right away, the cinematography draws you in with its stark contrast of shadows and muted neon lights. A look that feels fresh for the genre, while paying tribute to both Mary Shelley's literary classic and the brooding style of the 1935 film. The design team nailed a look that's gothic yet punk, mixing gritty Depression-era city streets with retro-futuristic vibes, all backed with a synth-heavy score that pulses with danger and longing. The character reveals in this trailer are masterfully staged. Jessie Buckley as the bride is an electric, almost tragic figure. One moment, she's wide-eyed with childlike curiosity. The next, there's a dangerous spark in her stare that hints at something much more defiant simmering underneath. Bale, meanwhile, disappears into his role as Frankenstein's creature, embodying anguish, hope, and obsessive need. The very first shot with Annette Bening's Dr. Euphronius, her steely calm in the laboratory, sets up a classic scientist versus creation dynamic, layered further by strong supporting appearances. Penelope Cruz as the enigmatic Myrna, Jake Gyllenhaal rumored as an enigmatic outsider, and Peter Sarsgaard as a shadowy detective. Each actor's look is distinct, like a rogues gallery assembled for a doomed romance. Plot-wise, the trailer is all about teases and atmosphere, rarely handing us exposition, but instead building a sense of mounting chaos. We witness fragments, Frankenstein approaching the brilliant doctor, Euphronius, desperate for companionship, Buckley's character jolting into life, blinking bewildered up at her creators, hints of their relationship spiraling into something volatile and dangerous. Cops swarm the city, torches flicker, and there's a steady rise of unrest, suggesting that the resurrection doesn't just shake up their world, but ignites a wider revolutionary movement among outcasts and misfits. It's like Bonnie and Clyde meets Mary Shelley, with that promise of rebellion and forbidden love at its core. Visually, the trailer is stacked with jaw-dropping moments that leap off the screen. The unforgettable first charge of lightning in the lab, the bride's silver blonde hair whipping in the wind as she steps onto a neon-lit city street, Bale's monster lurching through a rain-soaked alley with blood on his hands. There are glimpses of wild action as the characters go on the run, screeching cars, shadowy mobs whipped into a frenzy, and montage-like flashes of dance numbers in smoke-filled nightclubs. The mood snacks between horror, romance, and punk-infused noir, keeping you off balance the whole time. For eagle-eyed fans, the Bride trailer is sprinkled with subtle blink-and-you-miss-it moments. Was that a quick reference to the original Bride of Frankenstein's bandaged face in one shot? A lightning rod shaped like an ankh, recalling Shelley's themes of immortality and taboo? One brief scene shows a wall covered with anarchist graffiti about rebirth, an Easter egg nodding to the radical social movement that erupts in the film. There's also clever visual callbacks to previous Frankenstein adaptations, with certain frames mirroring iconic imagery, yet reimagined with a raw, contemporary energy. Adult content isn't hidden. The tone is unmistakably bold and mature. There's erotic tension between Buckley and Bale, and a frank, almost unsettling look at power, obsession, and autonomy. The violence isn't sanitized, from flashes of surgical procedures on the reanimated corpse to street brawls and bloodstains on the bride's skin. There's a sense that Gyllenhaal is pulling no punches and aiming for something both monstrous and deeply human. If you're expecting soft, safe nostalgia, think again. This trailer makes it clear the film will push boundaries and provoke conversation. So what's my opinion as someone who watches hundreds of trailers every year? The Bride's trailer is a shot of adrenaline to the monster movie genre. Stylish and venomous, with stellar performances and a raw, aching vulnerability. Buckley stands out as one of the most intriguing horror heroines in recent memory. Her presence sells the entire concept. Bale's Frankenstein is a monster you almost want to root for, even as he teeters on the edge of violence and despair. Gyllenhaal's direction looks fearless, painting familiar archetypes with punk edge and nuance. This is a film that doesn't just revisit old myths, it explodes them, promising a radical reinterpretation of horror and romance. For the release date, mark your calendars. The Bride will hit theaters in the US on March 6, 2026, and is planned for a global rollout in IMAX. That means you'll have the chance to experience this wild vision on the biggest possible screen. Exactly how a story this bold deserves to be seen. Final thoughts. The Bride trailer isn't just another remake, it's a statement. Expect adult content, provocative themes, and stunning visuals all wrapped inside a classic monster story that feels utterly new. The film positions itself to be a top contender during awards season and could become the standout monster movie of its generation. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more honest opinions and deep dives into the wildest releases, make sure to subscribe. This is Film and Fact, bringing you the truth behind the screen. Hit that bell, and I'll see you at the movies when The Bride finally walks down the aisle.